about why we can't get rid of coal. I'm Olivia Ross. Have you ever wondered where all of our electricity comes from, or maybe how our homes are powered, or just how we get electricity? Well, if you ever have, I have the answer for you, and that's coal. I am allowed to speak about this topic because I did the research for this, and I, like everyone else in this room, uses coal every day to power their homes and everything else. So, coal power plants have provided a significant source of energy production over the last decade, even longer before that. Despite their future being questioned lately, coal is actually really important to us. So before I begin, I'm going to talk about what coal even is, because it's hard for me to persuade you on something that you don't even know what it is. The article Coal Explained says that it's a sedimentary rock that is non-renewable and comes from pressure turning old plants and minerals into this substance. We use this substance to generate electricity, produce cement, and make chemical productions. And it's also used in almost every industry. So today, I'll tell you about why coal isn't as bad as you think and why we should keep it. Coal's economic contributions and the reliability makes people think that coal is really bad. But coal is not really as bad as you think because of the way we get it, and the emissions gives it a bad name though. The article Coal and the Environment states that the top two emissions from coal are sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide. But did you know that the top two pollutants of planes are carbon monoxide and nitrogen oxide? So yes, coal is bad, but planes aren't really any better if you think about it. They're both producing bad gases. In 2020, the article Aerospace News in 2020 explains that planes are now powered by kerosene, which is most commonly found by petroleum. You'd be surprised about the things that produce more emissions than coal, or just about the same emissions as coal. Vehicles and agriculture are two big things that produce bad things. Now that I've spoken about why it's not as bad as you think, I'll speak about the contribution that coal has on the economy. Many people think that coal is useless and there's no way that it does anything for us, and it just pollutes us and does nothing else. That's untrue. People probably don't realize that more jobs than just coal mining comes from coal. Laborers, welders, plant operators, pipe fitters are just a few to name. Mostly any blue-collar jobs, which are actually very important to us, come from coal. To our everyday lives, nothing would be possible without coal. The article National Coal Council says 83,000 jobs related to coal were made in 2014. These jobs provide almost every job for places in rural areas, which some people don't realize that we're mostly in a rural area besides when you get to St. Louis. And you don't want to take all those jobs away from people, so it's really hard to get rid of coal if you take away jobs from people. Coal's main money flow is actually electricity. And the article Coal's Importance of the World in 2022 says about 23.4% of the nation's electricity is generated from coal, which is resulting in electricity costs that are generally 30% lower in states that rely on coal for more than half their electricity. If anything persuades you, it should be the cheaper electricity bill. Air conditioners, your hot water heater, fridge, oven, microwave, those are all things that take electricity, and with today people wanting colder air, electric cars, it's really important that we can get electricity in a cheaper way. Coal is the way to go if you want cheaper electricity. 35% of electricity comes from coal, so it's really hard to get rid of something that we use that much. Now that I've spoken about the economic contributions of coal, I'm going to speak about the reliability. So what makes something reliable, I think, is to be stable, secure, and abundant at all times. So coal is known to be reliable around the world. The National Coal Council says that there's over 82 billion tons of coal reserves throughout the world. That's enough to last 110 years. So we're set for 110 years. How is that not going to be reliable? Now, people can argue that there's other electricity sources like solar panels, windmills, and stuff like that, but they all rely on unpredictable weather, which they're going to give you electricity no matter what, but maybe not as high-powered electricity. Coal is reliable also because it's abundant. It is currently actively mined in 10 nations, and oil only has 50 years left, while natural gas only has about 53 years left. It's estimated, of course. So if that's only going to be around for that long, and coal's going to be around for about 110 years, we have more time to figure out a new plan until we can get rid of coal. Coal is also very easy to transport by trains for everywhere around the world to use. Now the part that everyone is passionate about. We can't use coal because it pollutes our air. but not everyone realizes that we now have the technology to make the air clean, to make the air that it releases cleaner. We can use something called flue gas, which is a harmless defertilization, sort of equipment, and it cleans the sulfur before it leaves the smokestacks. Another thing that we can do is use carbon captures. Sounds weird, but the carbon is made into concentrated steam and it's injected into the ground below us, and it can be put underneath things like airports, golf courses, or landfills. Those are all things that don't really go underground. So these carbon captures would basically revolutionize the way that coal produces stuff into our air. So the environmental impact of coal can't be ignored, but it can be made more practical. Coal providing a significant source of energy makes it almost impossible to get rid of. But with work, we can make it cleaner so that we can keep on using our important energy source. Coal provides major economical contributions, it's reliable, and it's really not as bad as people think, especially if we can clean it up. I bet you now understand just how important coal is for us and what it provides for us. Now that you know the importance of it to us and us as a society, I bet you want to keep coal around as well.